What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is Lamar Anderson, and you all have it locked into a great platform with some great people. These are my people, and this is Think About It.
Black people.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Think About It, Black People, where we just kind of talk to you all about a variety of different topics that are like near and dear to our heart that can help our community. So before we even get into our topics that we want to talk about with you today, sorry about that tongue tie. Talk about with you today. Let me go ahead and introduce my team. First up, the Queen, Shell. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Shell.
Yes, Michelle is in the house, also known as Shelly Shell. I'm glad to be back on the platform again. And the topic that we have today is going to be beneficial to all of our people.
Thank you. All right, let's go to my other queen. Go ahead, E.
Hey, it's Erica again. Super excited to talk about this topic. We've missed you guys, but this topic is critically important to what's going on in the world. So we're here to just not only have a little fun, but really just get you thinking about it, Black people.
That's right. My other partner, other male in the crew, the other king. Go ahead, Rut.
What's happening, y'all? You know it's Ruddy Rut, the RUT, the veteran of the crew. What's going on?
You know what it is. All right. So, like we said, think about the Black people. What we do, we try to hit you all with topics that are near and dear to our hearts and just change our community. So this topic that came up, it was actually brought to us by my girl Erica. Erica, if you want to, kind of allude to this topic and talk to them a little bit about what it's about, and we'll listen to a track, and then we'll get to have a full-out conversation about this. Go ahead.
Well, it's a underground rapper. He's really starting to emerge. His name is Yellow Pain, and I actually heard from him from my son because I heard some music and I was like, what are you listening to? Trying to make sure he's listening to positive music because right now there's not a lot out there. And he turned me on to Yellow Pain, who is a very conscious rapper. Reminds me of Eminem when he first came out. He talks about emotional issues. He talks about the need to vote. And not just the need to vote, understanding that it's not the presidential vote that really is the vote that counts. We all think that the president sets all the laws, that he's the one who puts us in jail, gets us out of jail, all of those things. It's not. It's the judges, it's the Congress, it's the Senate, it's the state representative, it's the state's attorneys, everything that we forget to go out and vote for. And so I was just very passionate about this song. So I'm excited to just share it with you guys. And then let's really just talk about it because we need to be out there voting. Lamar sits on the electoral vote. Lamar leads up the Martin Luther King Day March, who died for us to be able to vote. We don't like to say that because it's just they died for us to have equality. But the reality is a part of that equality is the need for us to vote. And so with that, Lamar, I'm going to push mute and just let you go ahead and play the song by Yellow Pain.
All right, let's get to the song, y'all. Listen to these lyrics. It's about the lyrics, y'all.
Votes more than 270, more than enough to become the 44th president of the United States. He will be the first African-American president of the United States.
I've been broke all my life, but I kept hope all them nights. You see business in my city, yeah, they closed down them twice. I was just riding down Salem on them damn potholes. I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Nobody care about us, and that's why I'm voting. Voted for Obama back in 2012, I remember that's when I had hope. He was saying, yes, we can. Everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke. I never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it all on my own. Ain't no politician ever do a nice gesture. I don't even know the man's name. I ain't never seen him one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. What I'm supposed to do, write letters? What I'm supposed to do, blame Trump? He ain't never really gave a fuck. Ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs paid enough. I think they just want to keep Just ain't putting nothing in place for us. This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complain enough. Let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't want to see us vote, and we never do. So we see the same thing. But all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you would probably never know. First thing first, you know, back in middle school when they taught us it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now, none of those 3 people make no laws. They just be checking it. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We got to focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Because we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress, the state house, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Because they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The state house make the courthouse. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Because y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years. We just let them sit. See, they don't want to tell you this. They want you to focus on the president. Now the 3rd branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, because they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life from the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back, grocery store food better, custody of your kids back, homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters, me and you. Somebody told us that the government want to keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is because we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. So they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the pros.
Every time you stay home, someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
Man,
That's a powerful song.
I think that song is extremely powerful, and I definitely thank you for bringing this to our attention and for us to have this conversation. This is the season I call, and people get mad at me for calling this season I call it politics. Because I think people pull up in your community right now who you've never seen on a regular basis, telling you what they're gonna do for you, and you've never seen them do anything. You understand what I'm saying? So I think this was a very important video for you to bring to this platform, especially at this time, because our vote does count, and the people who we are putting in these positions and we want to have held accountable are very important locally more than they are the national and the presidential. So this is like the new modern day, and I'm finna tell my age, I'm just a bill. Y'all remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That's what this
yeah.
reminds me of.
Just to
Yes, I'm wrong. Yeah.
you.
But I relate to this a little bit more than I'm just a bill. I mean, like, it's hip hop and it's so on point in regards to his messaging. So let's talk about it, y'all.
I just think I just got to pipe up and then I'll go let you guys go. But I just feel like last time during the election, everyone stopped going to vote because the TV told us that it was a landslide and Hillary had won. And I'm not saying we're not here to tell you who to vote for. You get to pick who you vote for. But my point is that people got tricked. People stopped showing up. People left the election polls. People thought, oh, it's 4 o'clock. I need to get out of line because I can't get in. You can vote. If you're in line, you can stay and you can vote if they got to sit there at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you, E, but I need you all to hear that part. That part is so very important, and a lot of people don't understand that. They look at the clock and they understand that polls close at a certain time. But if you are standing in the line to vote at the time before the polls close, they have to allow you an opportunity to cast that ballot.
And
sorry.
go ahead.
You also have to understand it's an electronic vote. So you forget there's different times of the days that you are in different time zones. So it's an electronic vote, so it can never be in time, but when you can stop voting.
And here's the thing that you guys have to remember. Don't believe the news. We know that everyone knows that the Russians helped with that election. They tricked us into leaving and going home and thinking we could dance all the way into the house. And now look at us. We're back in 1959. My white friends, my black friends, my white friends who aren't supporting, you know, the Ku Klux Klan, they're scared. They're scared to support us. And so that's the importance of making sure you vote, and you don't just vote for the president, you vote for the judge, you vote for the sheriffs, you vote for the congressmen, the Senate, your state representatives. If they are not representing you, get them up out. How many of them sit there, like he said, 40 and 50 years just sitting there getting pensions when they need to, they're going to get pensions regardless, but we can get them out of there and put in people who care about what we care about.
Go ahead, Michelle.
And I am guilty of not voting as much as I know that I should, but it is due to the media. It is due to the propaganda. We picture it and see it as being just a bunch of propaganda, and the media is misleading. So I'm very thankful that Erica did bring this video out. Yellow Paint is saying something. He took us all the way back to grade school, you know, the 3 different systems that are within the branch, and we need to go back to the basics and re-educate ourselves, which is what this young man is doing in this video.
And that's why they're not educating us. You know, we said it one way. We said that people died for us to vote. Let's say it the other way. People were killing us to keep us from voting.
That's right.
So that tells you how powerful this vote is. When you say your vote don't count, that's because no one would be out there with guns trying to intimidate you. People wouldn't be out there trying to get you to not mail in your vote, not go in and vote early if they thought your vote didn't count. They wouldn't have hacked in and made you go home if your vote didn't count.
All right, go ahead, Rutt.
Also look at the TV programming. When we were in high school, I'm not gonna say high school, grade school, we had the I'm Just a Bill and all the School of Rock come on. They took all that stuff off for the new generation to not even know that information. They took it out. They don't teach it in social studies no more. I don't even know if they even have social studies anymore. Things of that stuff to teach you about Congress, legislation, the judicial system, and things of that sort. So a lot of the new generation that's coming into school are learning something totally different than what they need to learn about the country.
They're dumbing us down, and that's again.
Yes, they are.
I mean, we're talking about the vote, but even when you talk about No Child Left Behind, there's a danger in No Child Left Behind, because really what it is move them ahead, not educated. Because what I found, one of my foster daughters, she was being taught at the lowest level of the child who was the least educated in the class. So you put that in a black school or a poor white school that doesn't have the funding, and you educate them at the level of the lowest person in the class, then people who should be being tested for 7th grade are only being educated at a 4th grade level. So there's some danger in not understanding what you think you're out there fighting for.
And that was the politics that I was talking about. So when they came up with these catchphrases of No Child Left Behind, it sounded good. It's like, okay, everyone deserves an opportunity. But if you're not pouring in the proper resources that are going to make sure that those students who are transitioning to the next grade level are prepared, come on now. Students are already afraid to ask questions in the current grade level that they're in if they don't know the answers. Just imagine if you feel that everyone else in the classroom understands this information and you're the one and only person who you feel does not. You're not going to raise your hand and say, I don't get it.
And then it's just, Michelle, we're getting onto a topic of yours, but then how many times is the highly educated child, the child that's super smart, high IQ, now he's put on medicine because he's hyperactive, he doesn't know how to sit down. He's not hyperactive or ADHD, he's bored to death because he's bored at a level that is way beneath him. And now with everything being global and jobs being global, we're competing with people in India. We're competing with people for jobs in China. With this work from home, you can work anywhere in the world. And if you don't get the education that you need to get, we're going to keep losing our jobs, especially in our community with that fake No Child Left Behind, which is really bringing all of our children down lower. And the law states that they have to educate your child at the level that your child is in. But most parents don't know to go to the school and say, I don't care what that child is doing, educate my child at the level they're supposed to be at.
I agree, but you know, we have to teach people, and I'm glad this platform exists because our primary goal is to teach people how to advocate for themselves. We want to arm you all with all of the information that you need so you're at least comfortable with going into some of these spaces and asking the questions for stuff that you may not know the answer to and getting the answer that you need so that you can move whatever you need forward. So
but let's not hold the school completely accountable for it too, because we also can put this on the parents too, because we also can teach your children the things that they're not teaching you in school.
Exactly. Well, and not just that. If I had homework, I had to sit my butt down and I did my homework. And if my grades weren't right, I didn't get to do anything. Now these students, their grades can be F's and D's, and they run in the streets. They on their games all day. Parents need to shut it down. I can cut my daughter's phone off on an app. I can cut my Wi-Fi off on the computer so they can't get to it. Those are things we need to take back parenting. It's not the teacher's job to teach your child to read for 20 minutes at home. It's your job.
Go ahead, Shell.
And I can recall being in 5th grade. That's once again in the 70s, and a speckle of Black students in the classroom, me being one of the female Black students, they talked about the totem pole back then. And it was white man, white woman, Black man, Black woman. And so those type of things can stick, cling to your spirit. And then it'll have you thinking that you're not enough, even though we know what Martin Luther King did for us, but you're torn in your spirit thinking that you're not enough. And again, that your vote doesn't matter. So we have to reach out to our own family and our own people and let them know we do count. It's not about the color of our skin. And we've been made to believe that it is, though. And
we just saw on the news where they had some online learning that was still perpetuating stereotypes. The single difficult family was the Black family. And we know that the single parent numbers are rising in the white community, just like they are in our community. And the married family was the white family. And we know Lamar, other than the shade of his skin, has an educated wife. He's educated and he's raising his children. So we do it too.
So to bring this back into perspective, one thing I want to make sure that our listeners understand is that there are people right in your community right now, because elections haven't started. Everybody waiting for November and all of this stuff. Elections haven't even started. First and foremost, I need to make sure y'all registered to vote.
Right.
If you are not registered to vote, by all means, do all that you can to make sure that you're registered to vote. Because I have two different scenarios on that. If you ain't gonna vote, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear none of your complaining when things don't go your way. That's just me. If you are registered to vote, be aware of who wants those positions, because these people are going to be coming to your community, and they're going to make tons and tons of promises, or some of them may never pull up at all. Know who is actually trying to be elected in your community, so you're putting those people in positions that you can hold them accountable for.
And just since you're talking about voting, early voting starts September 24th. You don't have to wait in a line that's 10 miles long and hope your vote gets in last minute. You can go vote right now.
I was just going to put you up on all that. Are you in my head? Look, I'm going to give y'all the dates, just in case you didn't hear what she said. Early voting starts September 24th. October 1st, you can actually request mail-in ballots. That's the last time to request these mail-in ballots. And you all hopefully have been watching the news in regards to people, the post office, and all the different things that are going on with the post office and mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots are very, very, very important. That's how some elections have been lost.
If you've been to a restaurant with a mask, put on that mask and go early vote. That's all I'm saying.
So the last day to actually request that their regular ballot for mailing in is going to be October the 6th. So you got to make sure you know these dates, man. So early voting actually will begin on November the 2nd. So that's when early voting can actually start.
Out of the two candidates, do you think which one of the two have earned your vote?
Neither. So
Earn my vote? Oh, okay.
the
So hold on.
reality is-
So you thinking this a platform where we gonna play with it? No, we ain't gonna play with it. That ain't anybody earned it. Now locally, there's a few other people, you know, I can say are trying to put in some work with their boots on the ground doing some stuff. But nationally, nah. It's the lesser of two, and out of the lesser of two, I know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
And again, we all know that it's just the lesser of the two, because Kamala and Biden historically have been locking us up too. And right now with Trump, it's about to be a race war. And so,
Exactly.
and it's a race war that is unnecessary, because all whites aren't bad, just like all blacks aren't bad. But we are letting the worst of the worst. And that's why I keep telling people on my social media, I'm not sharing any of it, because all I'm going to share is make sure you vote, make sure you vote, make sure you vote, because we're giving room. That negative TV is all people want nowadays. We can change this. We can change this. We can change this by voting.
Yeah, so to answer that question for you, Russ, neither party, the elephant, I mean the donkey or the elephant ain't earned my vote yet. You know what I mean? Like that's just facts. But I just lesser of evils, I can't do the Trump.
Sorry, Mark. Only thing I have seen, Biden and Ice Cube is getting together to talk over the black contract that Cube has put out there. So I'm gonna see how that goes and see what he's talking about from there on. But me personally, it's up in the air, dog. I mean, it's like, really, are we safe with either one?
We're not safe with either. And the catch is, what we need to remember, we're back talking about our president, but the ones who blocked us up, the
ones local.
who, they're the congressmen, the senators. If we want justice, and don't get me wrong, I just was reading an article and it broke my heart. 2 police officers just sitting in the car got shot up. I don't support that. Whoever did it deserves life in prison. If the death penalty, they deserve it. They weren't doing anything but doing their job. I am pro-police. However, I'm not pro-corrupt police. So again, I don't agree with that. But on the other side, if a police officer does kill us, the law should be the same. If you sell 5,000 grams of cocaine and 5,000 grams of crack, you get the same sentence. Period. I don't care.
And it shouldn't matter the color of your skin. You know what I'm saying?
Justice is justice.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
So in terms of, great question, I'm glad you posed that as well, Rhett. You know, so I'm holding these local officials more accountable than I care about the presidency. I know everybody got their eyes on the White House and the whole nine, but these people here, I can touch. I can walk up to them and say, excuse me, this is what you told us you were going to do for this particular area here. Either A, we're going to pull up and support you because you may need some support, or B, we're going to make sure that you don't have that position anymore.
And you know what? If people really want to have a change, just like you were out here having these powerful marches, have powerful show up for early votes, make them stay open till you get into that building. You know, it's important that they see us going to the polls. That's where our power is.
Facts.
True.
I'm really glad you brought that out, Erica. I'm really glad, because you know I'm one that tends to just look at the president, because that's what's flashed all over the media, and we're ignoring, or the fact that the local is what really counts. So I'm really glad that you brought that up.
Politics. So listen now, we got everything from your school board to your park to county. All of these things, they directly affect y'all, man. So you gotta know what's happening in your local community before you start caring about what's happening in DC. It may trickle down, but what's gonna happen right here, it's gonna affect you a lot sooner than what's gonna happen in DC.
And there's nothing worse than an ignorant vote. And so what I mean by that, you don't have to go out and listen to what they say on the news. You can go and you could pull up their voting history. Every time a politician votes, it is on record. You go and you pull up Biden's politician voting history. You pull up, well, Trump wasn't in Senate or anything, but you pull up Kamala, you pull up Mike Pence, you pull up your local leaders voting history. And
we're the greatest era right now with social media. Everything is out there. I mean, technically, if we being real, there should be no ignorant voter out there, because these people, their track record, you can pull their card on their track record of what it really looks like right now. If someone says they're for your community and you look in their track record and you ain't never seen them nowhere down past Mall Street, you know they ain't in your community. You understand? I'm just, giving Southside.
Right. With a lot of the local senators and congressmen they want our votes, it's like you got to hold them accountable, because when they're talking to you saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and this, well, you do know you're signing a verbal contract with it saying what you're going to do. Now, once you want to go run for president, we can pull that contract up and say, bro,
this is what you said.
And I'm taking a stance as a Black woman. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm going to vote for who is working for me. If the best candidate is Democrat, I'm voting for him. If the best candidate for what I believe in is Republican, I'm voting for them. We need to stop crossing across lines, and we need to say whoever's going to work for me is going to work for me, because I know I have white friends who are diehard Republicans, but if the candidate is the best candidate and they're a Democrat, they're going to vote. But here's where we all get messed up. We all say, well, I don't like the Democrat and I don't like the Republican, so I'm going to go vote for the independent. That's the biggest.
But where does that vote go?
Or I'm not going to vote.
You might as well not vote it, because
have a winning dog in the race. I'm just saying. You at least got to have.
But when a person vote independent, where does that vote go? Do they still count it as something, this one or that one, or do they break it down?
Well, what they do is they vote for the independent candidate. So say it's a green candidate, they'll vote for them. And the problem is that's one vote that either needed to go against the lesser of the two evils. You needed that vote. And that's a lost vote that we need. So all this, yes, I would love to see someone who's Christian, truly Christian, get voted in, but right now we don't got that. So what I would like to see is you make sure that your vote counts. And, with everything going on, who is going to stop us from being killed? Who's going to really try to stop not only Black lives being murdered, but even blue lives? Who's going to try to do what's right for everybody? That's the problem. It's like right now we're so bipartisan that we're taking sides. It's not about sides. It's about what's right.
This independent part. So wouldn't that be still counted as nobody voted?
Pretty much.
It might as well have been.
So why do they implement that into the system?
To get the candidates in. Politics.
Mm-hmm. I topped it off with politics now.
Politics, baby. That's my new word. I like it.
Politics, man. These are the facts. These are politics. So I just want you all to just educate yourselves on who is trying to represent you in your community. That's one of the main things we definitely want to make sure you all understand in terms of this platform. Remember those dates. We are going to also post
September 24th, early voting, September 24th, and mailing. Do the mailing.
We will also post the video that you all saw, so you can all see the video, and actually listen to those lyrics.
I'll put the dates at the bottom of the video in the description.
All right. Definitely want to thank you all for pulling up. Man, our time it's a wrap, y'all. Y'all see this?
This goes. We have so much to say, so much to share with the people.
And this time, don't just think about it, Black people. Be about it. Go vote.
Man, what? Think about it and be about it, Black people.
Be about it.
Right. Yeah. Thank y'all for pulling up. We really enjoyed this, man. Big up. We'll see y'all again. Think about it, Black people. Out.
Think about it, Black people.
Peace, y'all.
And vote.
Let me get that outro, Rut. Yeah.
Production.